Online folk. It's Monday morning. How is everyone doing? How are we keeping safe? So today's business testimonial series 10, and I have a special guest coming on board. I will talk about housekeeping. I'm using StreamYard. This is a third-party app. For anyone that want to post comments or for you to see comments, please, I would ask you to sign up on StreamYard, and this will give you access to post comments or to see comments. Yeah. So again, for those people that are just joining us, my name is Busola Abolarin. I'm a registered nurse here in Alberta. I'm a digital entrepreneur. And I like to ask people to tell us, to share their journey with us, their experience with us, because I like to learn, because when we learn, that is when we earn. So today I want you to stay tuned as I bring on board with me. Paulo is actually in Mexico. So yeah, please stay tuned. Hello.
Oh, hi, Priscilla. How are you?
I'm good. So it's 11 o'clock there in Mexico, right?
It is, yeah. I'm in Puerto Vallarta right now, but I'm based in Vancouver. But just decided to come down here for maybe 2 months for now, but maybe extend it for another month.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, please can you tell us about yourself? Tell us your name, your background, and yes.
For sure, yeah. So my name is Paulo Perleas. I am, like I said, based in Vancouver, but I grew up in Calgary. And my career, I work as a nurse. I've been a nurse for over 17 years now.
17 years.
Don't let.
I'm a baby nurse.
Don't let this young exterior fool you. But yeah, no, I've been nursing for over 17 years. So I worked in inpatient hospitals. I've done surgery. So I worked out in, if you guys, I grew up in Calgary, so I worked at Foothills Hospital, and then I did inpatient hospitals. I've done pharmaceuticals. I actually went into pharmaceutical company working for a couple of years. And then now recently I'm just doing oncology research and clinical trials. And so I do gynecology studies, gastrointestinals, and pain and symptom studies. So I was doing that full time for a bit. And then as of January this year, I went from full-time to casual so I can focus more on the business. Because as you know, Busila, like you're a nurse too as well. And so when you're working night shifts or all that, like the graveyard shifts and the night shifts or the shift work, it's hard to be able to just be at home. And so that's why I decided to stop working full time and being stuck in the clinics and be able to work on my business and then do casual so I can work at the business at home or basically anywhere that I want to go where there's Wi-Fi. So that's why I decided to come out here to Mexico.
Yes. Yeah, that sounds very interesting. 17 years.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I just celebrated 1 year working as a registered nurse. Yeah,
I know.
I was like, oh wow, that's good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And combining, that with nursing is very awesome. So I used to tell my friend, I said, for the fact that you have a professional job does not stop you from having a second stream of income. Yeah. Exactly. So, and yes. So I tell them they try to make excuse. I said, no, this is not the time to make excuse.
No. Yeah, so Basula, when I started the online business, I started back in January 2017.
2017, so at that time, okay.
Yeah. So at that time, I was working. I was still working so in Vancouver, I was working at BC Cancer. So I was working there for a year, but then after that, I switched over and worked for a pharmaceutical company. And so I was flying between Alberta and British Columbia. I was doing 10 to 17 hours a day because I would be auditing clinical trials research on the other end. So I was doing the auditing purposes. And so that's how I'm painting a picture for everyone who's watching is that I was really busy working, but I still was able
Yeah.
to work on the business on the side, meaning part-time, but I never lost focus. I still continued treating the business like a business and not a hobby. And so I remember doing work at the airport, doing like waking up an hour early, waking up or staying up late, or in between clinics, I'd be checking my phone just to continue working on the business. So for me, I didn't tell myself there's an excuse. I just kept working on the business.
That is very, very amazing, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, why did you choose this particular online business? We know we
Right.
have a lot of businesses out there. We have affiliate marketing and all that. But why did you decide to choose this one?
So there's multiple whys, but before I get into my whys, the reason why I got into it is that I actually know the two guys that actually created this whole online automated system for us. So I knew them, so I trusted and saw their results, and in turn I wanted to get those kind of results as well, because as a nurse, working for that many years already, 17 years, I've experienced burnout.
Yes.
And so
Yeah.
and it was really tough because my first initial burnout happened when I was working for BC Cancer. I was just overworked, working overtime, and because me and my colleague were doing a 3 nurse workload for two of us. There's only 2 nurses for 3 nurse workload for almost 2 years, and I burnt out. And then at some point she burnt out as well, and then so that's when I quit nursing for a bit, and then the BC Cancer, and went into pharmaceuticals. But then that was really busy as well, working for corporate, because I had responsibilities for my site plus responsibilities with corporate. And it was even though I worked from home, like I said, I was working 10 16-hour days, and so I never really had any personal time, because my work time would spill into my personal time, and then I ended up burning out from that as well. And then so that's when I decided, like, no, I needed to make a change and focus on the business. And the reason why, so that was it. Burnout was one of them. The second one is that financial freedom. Even though as nurses we do quite well, I'm still, I was still at that point paying off my student loans for nursing, plus like all my other debts on top of that. Yeah, and then I had a mortgage too as well, so I was like busy doing that. So I was literally living paycheck to paycheck. And in Vancouver, where I live, it's an expensive city. Quality, like, it's just a lot of things are expensive there. So that's one of the other reasons, financial freedom. And then the other one is that I want to be able to help my mom retire comfortably. So she's retired already, but she's just living off her pension, and she's only got enough to get by, but doesn't have enough to actually enjoy her retirement. So I want to be able to take her on travels and trips. And then the last one is time freedom is one of the other major parts. So when I worked as a nurse, I worked in Alberta, I worked in BC, I even worked in England for a year, went back to Calgary, and because and so because of the movability, I was moving from different sites. My seniority for vacation always resetted back to 2 weeks. So even though I nursed for that many years, I was not entitled to have those 6 to 8 week vacation. I always dropped back down to 2 weeks. And so for me, working that many years, having that much experience and seniority as like for knowledge based for nurses, and only getting 2 weeks vacation, it wasn't enough for me, because I just burn out. And so now, like, now that I've been able to focus more on the business, I was like here in Mexico again in March of this year for a month. And then this time, like I mentioned to you before we started doing this video, is that I'm going to be here till January, and I might push it till February. And it just goes to show you that there is the potential portability of being able to work anywhere. Due to the circumstances that's going on right now, I would have chosen to go work in Spain, but that didn't take place. So maybe later next year, that's the goal.
Wow, that's good. That's really awesome.
Yeah.
And for the fact that the business itself is flexible, you can work anywhere, anytime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's Yeah, which is good. And then, like you said, like you hear people making excuses, but you know, there, if you really want it so badly, you will put the effort in to make that change. Because if you're not happy where you're at, but you're still doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, I mean, that's the definition of insanity.
Yeah.
And so, if you people who are watching this, like if you want to get results, you have to step out of your comfort zone, face that
Yes.
fear, and then
Mm-hmm.
later on when you look back, you're going to be like,
Yeah.
okay, wow, that wasn't that hard at all. And
Mm-hmm.
that's just gonna once you develop that ability to step out of your comfort zone, you'll always do that all the time and try to
That's right.
make, yeah, make yourself a better person, see what you can do to become successful and succeed in anything that you pursue, any dreams that you want to achieve.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. That's
Yeah,
good. Thank you
yeah.
for sharing that.
Oh,
Yes, for me too, is
mm,
actually the burnout. Like,
yeah,
yeah, I still work
it's
like extra graveyard shift. I work nights
mhm,
and I work like
yeah,
16 hours. And
yeah,
I when I experienced my first burnout, I told myself, "Oh
yeah.
my God, I
It's
want to last long."
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's tough. Burnout, as you know, people who don't know what burnout is basically, it doesn't happen like in a flick of a switch. It's a gradual sort of thing that just
gradual
comes
thing.
on. And it was to the point when I was working in oncology, when I get calls from patients, I just didn't care. I didn't care about their problems. Like, and that's normally not me. Like, I care about my patients quite really well. But when I noticed that, I was fortunate enough to notice that early enough that I said, no, I have to stop. I have to
Yes.
change something, or else it's going to get worse. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Then it's going to get to a point that even tending for yourself, caring for yourself, you won't have that anymore. Like
no,
everything,
yeah,
yeah. Yes.
yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, that's what I noticed with this whole transition of being a business entrepreneur, and starting to. I've noticed like as I focus more on myself, that's when I'm going to be able to help other people better.
yes.
Because if you do it the other way, if you're so focused on helping other people besides focusing on you, you're not going to get ahead because you're always going to feel burnt out and tired. That yeah, you need to look after yourself number one first, then you can look out for other people.
Yes, is it. That is
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. What you
yeah,
don't have, you can't give. Yeah. Thank you for sharing
yeah.
that. So
Yeah.
can I want you to like give us an highlight on the business, the online business itself.
Yeah. Oh, so sorry, you just cut out. You said that that
Can
again.
you tell us a little bit about this amazing business?
Oh, yeah, yeah. So, this business, like we mentioned before, is the portability of being able to work from anywhere as long as there's Wi-Fi. As long as the Wi-Fi is strong, you can work from anywhere. And then the community that you meet, I think for me, I find the number one positive thing about working online is being connected to this online business community, because with any business everyone experiences ups and downs, like it's normal for any business. But if you're on your own, those down moments are always hard to deal with when you're on your own. But because we're connected to the supportive community, I mean, we when I started there was only about 300 people, and then
Mm,
now there's over 20,000 people globally who are connected to this system. So you can build connections and relationships with people either in person or online, and help you through those tough times. Because there's times when when I didn't think I was gonna, like, the business wasn't going well. I was like, I was asking myself, what am I doing here? Like, should I quit? Should I just go back to a 9 to 5 job? But then I talked to other business colleagues, and then they would just say, no, stick with it. You will just keep going. What you need
yeah.
support with, and so on. So that extra support really pushes you to just continue. And that's why I feel like a lot of us are very successful within this community. And so for me, that's one of the major advantages. And then the other one is just creating the time and financial freedom is the advantage. Because um, for me, the money isn't important, but the the money is going to help buy you options. The money is going to help you help other people. That's
Yeah.
what it comes down to. And as a nurse, I always love to mentor nursing students. And but when I switched over to my oncology clinical research trial role, I never got any students. Students aren't interested in coming in that area, and so I never got to mentor anyone. But now that I'm able to, with this business, be able to mentor within my business, it's been so amazing because like yeah, I've been able to help other people, but in turn, like I want to be able to spread my wealth later on. The money that I come in, I want to be able to help my family and my friends and so on. Yeah. So
That's
yeah,
true. Yeah, that's right.
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, and thanks for sharing that. So
Oh yeah.
what is the starting point for anyone that wants to join this community? I as of
Yeah.
this morning, we're up to 65,000
Yeah.
members in our
Yeah.
community. So what is the
Yeah.
starting point?
For everyone, yeah. So the starting point for everyone is just to watch the free informational webinar. So that's the first step to do it. And then from there afterwards, if they're interested, then they will, yeah, they can ask either you or me questions. But the starting point is watching that free informational webinar. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Watching the webinar,
Yeah.
we invite people to. It's just like
Yeah.
you want to go to school and you want to still
Yeah.
find out about what course you want to study. So
Yeah.
it's just like you coming for an information section. So it is free. It doesn't cost
Yeah.
anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I will say hello to
Yeah.
Jennifer. Jennifer.
Yeah.
Hello. Thanks for watching. So how
Yeah.
has working online, how has it changed your lifestyle?
How is it? You know, it's been able to give me a lot more confidence that I have a better future.
Yeah.
You know, I find working for somebody else is not, it's not beneficial for me. For me personally, it wasn't beneficial being able to work for somebody else because no matter how hard I worked, I found like I never was able to get ahead just financially, and so I find this is going to help me create that financial freedom. And then yeah, so that's the major part that
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to.
When you mentioned
Yeah,
like quality of time the other time, just
yeah,
because like where I work, I'm like junior, finding
yeah.
granting my vacation, it's like a tough one. So I
It
don't even
is. It
have that
is. Yeah,
control of my
yeah,
time. And by
yeah,
the time they
yeah,
grant, yeah, so it's one thing
yeah,
like this business has actually given to us, like you'll be able to have good quality of time. You'll be able to have time with your
yeah,
friends and family, your loved ones. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So,
Yeah, no,
uh,
yeah, and to touch on that as well, like even now, like I actually, if I didn't do this business, I wouldn't even fathom being able to come here for 3 months or 2 to 3 months. If you asked me 2 years ago, but I made it happen. I'm making it happen, and even now this week, my best friend from Calgary is visiting here, and I actually get to spend
mm,
quality time with her. Like I'm not busy. Like with this business, it's like once you have it set up, maintenance period is like you only can you for me I only spend about 1 or 3 hours a day. Like it's not always like 3 hours, but it can be 1 hour here and then 2 3 hours there. And like if you can use your phone, you can, if you're on social
yeah,
media all the time, if you know how to send emails and texts, you can do this business. And like I can do this on the go while I'm at the restaurant, or if I'm walking to the restaurant or going at the beach. I can do work on this business, like do 5 minutes here, 10 minutes here, 30 minutes there, an hour here. Like it all adds up, but that's how flexible this business is. And so, which allows you to be able to have that quality time that you can spend with your family and friends.
yeah,
So
that's right. That's true.
yeah,
Thank you. So
yeah,
when you approach people and you tell people about this business, and then they respond to you that, oh, it's scam, it's online. Like, how do you deal with that?
yeah. So I a lot of times people when they use that when they have that answer is because they've had bad experiences before or they've heard from other people. But I mentioned before there was 300 people when I started 2017. There's over
Yeah.
20,000 people who are actually doing the business, and then the other 45,000 people are still sitting there either waiting to get the finances to get the business going, because with any business there's startup costs and everything. And so
Yes.
that's a lot of people, and for it to be a scam basically is that there wouldn't be this growth. We wouldn't be this successful as a business community. And at the same time, I mean, like, do the research, do the due diligence. I find people as well when they say that answer, it's a scam. I'm like, it's because they didn't do the research. They didn't watch an informational webinar. They didn't ask all the questions. And as a nurse, for me, because I work in, like I said, oncology research nursing, I consent patients to clinical trials every day. I have to tell them exactly what they need to be aware of, from drugs that are being given to them, the logistics, the timing of how much they're gonna be at the hospital, or sorry, at the clinics, and all the side effects. And
The
so
side effects,
for
yeah.
me, yeah. So when I'm consenting people, I have to tell them everything, and I use that same knowledge and same experience and do it within the business. And I tell everyone, like, this is what you need to do, but they need to I make sure they ask the right questions. If they're not answering the questions, asking the right questions, I will tell them the information as well, so that they can make 100% sure that this is the right decision to make. But a lot of times too, people are afraid. They're fearful because this isn't something we get taught. Like, I know, I would say a lot of us who started had no experience within
Yes.
how to do this business, but our training is step by step, and it really helps people build that confidence. And you're not going to know everything 100% getting into the business. So it's like,
Yeah.
Priscilla, it's like I use this analogy when I said, you know what, when I went into nursing, if they told me I had to be a charge nurse at night, I have to have my six to eight patients, I had to pull out chest tubes, put in catheters, deal with blood, vomit, everything, I would be like, I don't know if I want to do it.
Then you have to
But
prepare
you
for
know
a
what,
code.
nursing, they yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But nursing, they gradually, every year, they expose
Yes,
you to more information
that's
as you
right.
are finished, as you graduate and you start nursing. After 1, 2, 3 years, you start knowing a lot more stuff. And that's the same thing with this business. You can't know everything 100%, but
Yeah.
if you go with your gut instinct, if you think this is the right decision or right direction to go to, definitely go for it. It's not, I don't know, I'm so grateful that I actually went into doing this business, because if not, I would just been stuck back at my old nursing job, working full time, hating my job, being stressed, being tired, and have very limited time to be able to take trips. I would have no ability to take a 3 month trip,
Yeah.
because I would only have 2 or 3 weeks for vacation. So
That's right. And I also tell people, I say,
yeah,
the system is 90% automated, and the 10% it's your part. So this
yeah,
business is not a quick make
but
money
no,
scheme program.
no,
It's not a money magic. So you
yeah,
still have to put your own input. You still have to put your own
yeah,
effort, and you
yeah.
still, it's still asking you to, get out of that comfort zone. So you
Yeah,
cannot think, okay, I'm starting my business, so I started my business, and you're not going to put in any effort. No, it doesn't work that way.
no,
Yeah.
no. Yeah,
So
yeah, and I'm glad you brought up that it's not a quick rich, because if you are looking for something like that, then move along, because we are not looking for people like you. We want people who want to treat this like a business, who want to create a business that's a long-term business, because this is what's going to help create passive income in your life. It will take some time, but it is achievable.
yes, it is
Yeah,
achievable if you can do it.
yeah,
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 it is
yeah,
achievable. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, that's right.
yeah.
Yeah. So, what other challenges have you faced in running this business?
Challenges. So I think one of them is fear. Fear is always a challenge anytime you start something new. But once you get over that, you realize what you're capable of. Like, I didn't realize that I would be comfortable being in front of videos. I have a stage fright. Like, I've had stage fright growing up as a kid, but I'm doing a lot more videos. I feel a lot more comfortable. And then some of the other challenges is just yeah, just being yeah, I think that's one of the major ones, is just fear. being able to get out there and think that I'm worth having the success. I think we're always so hard on ourselves and thinking that we have to work really, really hard to earn good money when really you just have to learn how to work smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, and this is what we have access to now with this online systems that we know how to work smarter. And I can see a lot of us within this community being very successful for a long time. Yeah.
Thank you. That's good.
Yeah.
So with this business, you'll be able to build confidence. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I have that too. I can't stand in front of the camera, but I'm coming out. I'm
Yeah.
trying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
So this
Oh,
brings us to
you're
the last.
welcome.
Okay, you have some. Okay, I thought you have something to say. So for this business,
Oh, no,
do you need any special skill? Like, do you have to be a computer, guru?
no.
Yeah.
No,
No.
so
Good.
yeah, people are not aware. There are people as young as 18 doing this business to people that are in their 70s. I wish I
Yes.
had this opportunity when I was 18 because I would
Me
be a
too.
millionaire or billionaire by then. But there are, yeah, the age doesn't matter. Work demographics, like what kind of work you do, doesn't matter. Because we had mentioned earlier, there's people who don't need the experience to be able to do this. So if you use that as an excuse that I don't have the experience as being an entrepreneur, doing a business, or working online, like it doesn't matter. Like our training step by step, you get mentors, you have
Yes.
coaches that will help you on the sidelines and everything. So yeah, for me, I like some of the people I mentee and coach are either people who are older than me or younger than me, and it's yeah, and they're doing quite well. So
Yes, that's right.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
you don't need any special skill. So if you
yeah,
can read, then you can do this business. If you have a phone
yeah,
and internet connection, then you can run this business. And
yeah, yeah,
if you have a positive mindset that whatever you lay your hands on, you are going to excel in it, then you can run this business.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So thank you so much for
Oh,
sharing your business journey with us. So
oh, you're welcome.
this brings us to the last question that I want you
Yeah,
to throw a word in for all those people thinking that, oh, they don't need any side hustle, or they're just there waiting to decide.
yeah. Well, that's a really good question, and I think this year has really showed a lot of us where our vulnerability is,
Yeah.
because not just like with work, with relationships, with our personal self, but having a side hustle, you need to be one step ahead. Like, I know people who have worked for companies for 30 plus years, and then because of this whole pandemic thing that we've
Pandemic,
experienced,
yeah.
yeah, people have just gotten laid off and given severance pay and then say, okay, well, that's all that we can do for you. And so you have to be one step ahead financially so that you can, have that backup plan, because there's no way you're going to be able to get ahead if you are relying on somebody else or working for somebody else. You have to be your own boss. You have to be your own, yeah, you have to be your own boss to be able to have that support and that comfort, that knowing that you're going to be okay, and be if there's ever something that comes along down the road, like if you need something to help out your family or emergency fund and so on. So as Basula said, like this can be done part-time on the side. Like you can, if you still love your full-time job, if you love your career, I know a small percentage of people do that, you can still do it and still have the side hustle. And then for those that don't like it, I mean, if you don't like your jobs, like why are you continuing to stay in some job that
Yeah.
you're not happy in? Because ultimately it affects how you behave, how you
Exactly.
yeah, because yeah, because if you're unhappy at your job, then it kind of, you take it out on other people around you. And
Yeah.
yeah, and yeah, I find you have to do something that you love. And I find with this business, you do end up having, yeah, you love it to the point because you're seeing how much freedom it's able to create for your time and financial freedom. And it allows you to be able to work on all your other hobbies that you put aside.
Exactly.
Like because I'm able to start looking at, doing more videography, photography. And that's just a start. So yeah.
Yeah, that is true. Thank you. Thank you for your
welcome.
time. Thank you for coming on board. Thank you for everyone listening. Thank you to everyone listening. So you've heard it all. So for the fact that you have a professional job does not hinder you in having something you can pass on to your children later in future. So, and you're actually building a legacy for yourself. So that is basically it. Thank you so much. I would let you go now. So this brings us to the end of today's business testimonial. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye. So that's it. That is it, guys. You've heard it all. It's always good. Yeah, I'm actually making an awareness, creating an awareness for people having a second stream of income. That is, you don't have to be shy about it. You're actually building a legacy. So, and this business we're talking about is very flexible. It's a global business. So why can't you come try it out? Every Tuesday and Thursdays, we offer you, a free information section. It's actually live. You can ask questions. So come prepared, come with questions, ask. We're real people. Ask questions. All you need to do is to sign up. Go to www.techbusco.com, sign up, get a unique link to join this live webinar. And if you cannot join the live webinar, you can actually watch the replay video. And you do your research. But one thing is, you are not losing anything trying new things. And, when you keep making excuse, because that is the only thing you find around, opportunity only comes but once. But, and one thing I learned yesterday from our mastermind was time is the new currency. Time is the new currency. So you cannot just sit down there, feel everything is okay. I have my job, but then what do you have to pass down to your children in future? Your children cannot take your space at this job you're doing right now. They can use your certificate, but then this business, you can pass it down to your loved ones. You can pass it down to people. For me, joining this business, my burning desire was having quality time with my friends and family. I value that a lot. I like to volunteer in church. I like to do other things on the side. And when I experienced my first burnout, I told myself, no, I need to look for a way out. Yeah, I need to look for a way out. And then this business has actually given me all those things I mentioned. So I urge you to come try it out. There is no harm in trying new things. There is no harm in seeing if this is what you can do. All right. See you next time. Again, my name is Priscilla Blaring for those joining us. And we had Paulo all the way from Mexico. He had 17 years working as a nurse. Wow. Yeah. So, okay. Till then, see you. Stay blessed. Please stay safe. Bye.